Welcome to the MBU Football Coaches Show. My name is Guy Danhoff, and I'm here with Coach B. Coach, it's been a while. Last week, obviously, the team was on a bye week, and before that, we've got some great news because the Spartans get their first dub of the season. You took on Clarke 2 weeks ago. Spartans ended up winning that game 31-13. But, Coach, what I want to talk to you about is what happened in the second half, because you were losing 10-13. Then all of a sudden, the Spartans pour on 24 unanswered points.
Yeah, the guys came out, played a really good second half. You know, we had the lead at halftime 7-6. There was some opportunities, I think, both sides. I thought defensively we were playing pretty well, and offensively we had 2 turnovers, in that first half that really were drive killers. So we felt like we were leaving some points out there again, just kind of regrouped. I give the leadership of our team a lot of credit. Xavier Tippler, some of the other leaders on our team, they beat me to the locker room and said, "Coach, we don't want anybody in here for a little bit." And so we as coaches went in and we're just talking about some of the things we needed to make adjustments on and let those guys handle it. Not sure what they did, but whatever they did worked, and they came out and played a great second half on both sides of the ball. And really, that second half, although it wasn't 100% perfect,
Right.
Defensively, we gave up that first drive coming out of halftime, which was a combination of things. One of the things was on me that gave up a touchdown that, I put them in a bad situation. We came over, talked about it. I told them, look, that's my fault. We'll move on. And they, what I give these guys credit to is they all to a man looked at me and were like, "Coach, we got your back." Went out, and I think they gave up one first down the rest of the half. So everything else outside of the next drive, we had one first down. Everything was a 3-and-out. Offense went out and did a great job. Special teams did a great job. So it was a really good third and fourth quarter. Obviously, a really nice fourth quarter.
I was going to say, your fourth quarter, you scored 21 points, but what was interesting, it wasn't just on the offense. Your special teams came up huge on Kevon Gaines actually recovered the fumble in the end zone on the punt attempt. And kind of walk us through that play, because at that point you really felt like you had all the momentum now.
Yeah, that was a big play because it was still a one-score game at the time,
right?
And they were still in the game. So it was, hey, offense, we got to go down and we got to move the ball. We've got to control the clock. We were kind of going in that 4-minute mode, and Kevon goes and does a great job. Coach Rochford came to me and was like, "Hey, do you want to go and try and block it?" Which I told him, "No, I don't. I don't want to block it," because at that time I didn't want to give them anything silly where we rough the punter and give them a first down,
right,
give them
right.
some momentum, let them keep the ball. So I was like, "No, we're just going to play it safe." Kevon's job on that is to just go and make sure that the kick takes place.
Okay.
Not really hold up, but just rush, not get too close. But once he saw that it was a fumbled punt, he kicked it in gear and was able to get, I think they gave him a sack, strip sack and a fumble recovery. And I can't say enough about Kevon. I said this in front of the team, but Kevon's a guy, he's been with us for a while now, and of course he would love to have more time as a wide receiver,
right?
But right now the thing that we talked to him about is you have to just embrace your role on special teams and be a great special teams player, and then when you get your opportunity on offense, go make the most of that. And he's done that, and that's a big credit to him. He's really bought into that. He's made some really big plays, not just on the punt return team, but on the kickoff team. And that's what you got to have. Not everybody's going to be the star. Not everybody's going to get the catches and all the time that they want necessarily at that position, but embrace your role and go own your role, and he's done a tremendous job at it.
And then talk to us, again, on a few of those other touchdown plays. Talk to us about really the role of, again, just the offense just really clicking on all cylinders in that fourth quarter.
Well, we went into, and I think it was maybe late third quarter. Yeah, it was late third quarter that Jordan got hurt.
Yep.
And so Cooper comes in, and that's where, having two guys that prepare and root for each other and push each other makes such a difference, because Coop went in, didn't miss a beat. We were able to continue moving the ball. Gavin Claude made some enormous catches in that game. There was one where we threw him a back shoulder fade off of a play where they jumped off sides, and that changes momentum too, because instead of just getting the 5 yards, we were able to move the chains, get about 15-20 yard gain. He made another catch on the sideline that kept things moving. The first touchdown of the game was a tremendous catch where Guy was leaning all over him. He held his ground, made the play. So, Gavin definitely played great. Cooper played great. We get down on the goal line, and although it was a little bit of a shaky, a zone read and a tough read for him. He was able to make a guy miss and get in the end zone. So, to have him come off the bench, play so well, guys around him rallied. There was no drop off at all in what was expected from our standpoint, but also from amongst all of them. They knew that he was able to do it because he does it in practice, and he and Jordan do a great job of sharing reps and making sure that they're both prepared.
Yeah, well, it was interesting when the injury occurred. Because you were, on your side, moving in, but for Cooper to have to step in and then be at the goal line like that, and you're just, how it's like. I mean, you're in, but the game's so much faster, right? Yeah. And the game's already going on. I thought Coop did a fantastic job, especially on that RPO that you guys ran, and obviously touchdown. But then Coop just kept it going, throughout the whole fourth quarter. So I thought it was a great, great day for the Spartans, not just because of obviously won 31-13, but because of how you played, especially on all sides of the ball in that second half. So what did you tell your team after the game?
Just that I was proud of them and just how excited I was for them that we were able to get that first win, because as we talked about coming up into the coaches show, it seems weird to say, but we're maybe 4 plays away from being 4-1.
Yeah.
And so, that starts to wear on you, because you realize, man, we're so close, but you've got to have some of that satisfaction. They put in so much work every week for that one game, and when it's close or it doesn't go your way, it's easy to get discouraged. But I was just really proud of how they went about it from a business-like standpoint. Nobody really ever panicked. We got down. We're down 6-0, and then Gavin comes back, makes a tremendous play. We're up 7-6. We have some issues with turnovers. Nobody panicked. Everybody just, like I said, the leadership really stepped up, led. Even after we give up the lead, and I was upset, then I kind of sat back. It was like, man, that was really more me when I really sat back on how it all happened. And, we were just able to get it worked out and keep moving, and everybody just did their job, and that was what I was really most proud of them.
Yeah. Well, let's move forward to this Saturday. You're going on the road to Missouri Valley. They're 3-2 with a 2 p.m. kickoff. And so what have you seen from them on film that, maybe excites you a little bit, but then also we're like, oh, we got to be very careful because they do this well?
Yeah, I mean, I think they've got a lot of good players. Their starting quarterback is a guy that is a grad transfer from Quincy. I want to say a 3-year starter. He's a St. Louis guy. He's actually a guy that we recruited when we knew that he was looking to be a grad transfer. He committed to us early in the summer, and then ended up decommitting and going to Missouri Valley. So, I mean, we know what kind of player he is. Yeah. He was a guy that we were excited when we got that commitment. But he's a mobile quarterback. He's got a really good arm. I think the biggest knock on him is his height. But he's played at the D2 level, played at a high level, and that's not really an issue for him. He makes plays. He's got some wideouts and a running back around him that they do a good job with, and their offensive line is pretty good as well. So, defensively, I think they're tough. Their scheme is pretty good, and they're very well coached. Coach Troth has been there for a long time at Missouri Valley. They've had a really strong program. So, it's one of those games where I think, like every week, there's places where I think we can take advantage of some things. There's some places where we have to make sure that we've got things shored up and that we're executing, because they might have a slight advantage, but I think it's going to come down to the wire, and what team stays with it, plays 60 minutes, and puts the 3 phases together. That's a big thing that we have to do. We've challenged our special teams to continue to be better. We've got to, there's some things that we looked at statistically in the bye week. We've got to be better offensively in short yardage and red zone, situations. If we're better in those situations, we're probably 4-1. Special teams wise, although we didn't have the big turnover, we're also not taking advantage of like the punt return yards and those kind of things. Those are some hidden yards that we have challenged guys. Hey, we've got to field punts, we've got to make returns and put pressure, and just what that does from a momentum standpoint. And defensively, they're going to want to throw the ball. So our defensive backs have got to continue to be strong in the back end, and we got to communicate and make sure we're all on the same page.
Well, I can remember when you were recruiting them, because I remember we were talking about it because it was right around your spring ball time, and I know you're very high on them. But here's the reality. Again, being 5'9", I'm saying this because I played with a quarterback 5'9". The good news is, okay, fine, he can scramble, and he may be hard to find at first, just being honest. However, I can also tell you this, that I fully expect your D-line will bat some balls out when he's trying to pass in some of those passing lanes. So again, it'll be interesting to see how you scheme against maybe him having to run a little earlier than he wants to. But it's going to be a great matchup. And so Missouri Valley will be this Saturday at 2 o'clock. And then we come back home, and we're going to take on Baker. And that's a 1 o'clock kickoff. Anything you want to talk about the Baker home game?
Well, we'll just continue to have a great fan support. Our fans do a great job of coming out and supporting us at home games. It's a great atmosphere, so we'll look forward to being at home. It's with having the bye week and then having the 2 road games on either side. Your 3 weeks post homecoming when we get to come back home and play.
Yeah.
But we'll be excited to be here. But we're focused on Missouri Valley right now, and the nice thing is with this new league, they're not that far down the road. So if anybody wants to jump in the car and watch some Saturday afternoon football, we'd love to have them down there in Marshall, Missouri, rooting us on, and we're looking forward to it. It'll be a great game, and I think both sides are evenly matched. It's going to come down to the little things, the details, those situations that we talk so much about, making sure that we're really good in situational football. And I'm excited. These guys have put in a lot of work over the bye week. We got healthy, get a few guys back, and we'll go from there.
So, Coach, with that being said, also for that home game, we'll be obviously honoring and celebrating obviously October, because this is near and dear to you, and certainly with your wife being Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I know that we're going to do something during the game for that as well. But now that I want you to explain to Spartan fans, now that you're going into what we know as conference play, because to this point it hasn't been conference play. If you're in the north, you're playing teams in the south. So explain to our fans kind of that dynamic where, because when you look at our record, it shows 1-4, but in the other parentheses it shows 0-0.
Correct.
So explain that to our fans.
Yeah. So the Heart of America is right now, I want to say 11 or 12 teams total. So we played 5 teams from the North Division or North Conference, as you would say.
Yeah.
The only team in the North that we didn't play this year was Graceland.
Right.
So we played 5 teams from the North, and now we move into what we are, the division or conference that we are in. So the Heart of America is divided up into the North and the South, whereas the Mid-States was divided into the East and the West. And it was very similar, like when we played Marion and we played Taylor these last couple years,
right.
Those didn't count towards our Mid-States West Conference title.
Right.
So we're moving into South Conference play, and we have everything in front of us right now. So that's really exciting. It's something that we've talked a lot about, of just staying positive, continuing to work, but our goal is to this week go 1-0 in the South, and that goes through Marshall, Missouri.
Absolutely. So Spartan fans, will obviously check us out on social media, because we will definitely be posting where you can watch the live stream of the game. Also, I will be also going live with you. I'm already going to speak it into existence. Spartans get a big W, and then we'll be doing a post game together like we did 2 weeks ago. Yeah. Which, by the way, for actually winning the game, you think you'd have been a little more enthusiastic. I was just wondering, unless you were just that exhausted, but could have brought a little more energy.
Well, it was hot, and I will tell you, after a game, sometimes I feel like I played the game. I was exhausted. It was hot. And we were just really, really excited for the guys. And,
yeah.
And that's, I want them to enjoy it. It's definitely more enjoyable for us as a staff to prepare and go into a bye week with a win. But, I think from our standpoint, we're so built to, okay, next one, start
course.
moving on to the next thing. And, not that we don't enjoy it, but that's just kind of how we're programmed. So, I feel like in some of those games, I hate to say it, but that's what we're supposed to do, right? I mean, this week is no different. Like, we're supposed to go out and win this game. The expectation is that we go out and win the game. And so I probably should enjoy them a little more than I do. But, I know the players do, and that's where it is really meaningful to me is that they get to enjoy that.
Yeah. Has it been weird, though, playing football in October with it being in the 80s? I mean...
I don't know about weird, but I love it. Like I can't stand when it gets cold, and I'll take this any day of the week. You can't beat the 75, 80 degree days. If that's football weather, I'll take that all day.
Okay, Spartan fans, in case you don't know, he's actually from Boulder, Colorado. So for him saying that, okay, wow, Coach, you like it in the 75s and 80s. Well, I can tell you this. There are some fans, some hardcore tailgaters, some of the parents of our players that are so glad the weather's finally changed because they're going to be busting out some chili at that home game, just letting you know, Coach.
Oh, hey, I'm all for a good sweatshirt and chili, but, I don't need 40s and 50s to have chili. I can have that in the 60s, and I'm good to go.
Sounds good. All right. For Coach B, my name is Guy Danhoff. We want to thank you for watching right here on the Spartan Digital Network. Okay.